Hi, welcome back, and we're going to be looking at how to evaluate numerical expressions using the order of operations. Okay, so firstly, let's start with what this actually means. Evaluate means to find the actual value of something. Numerical means numbers, anything that has only numbers. Expression is like a sentence. So we're looking at number sentences using the order of operations. Operations are all the pluses, multiplies, divide, and on all the other exponents, brackets. These are the things that tell you what to do with the numbers. So in other words, you're going to be looking at numerical sentences. So let's go into the example. So for example, if I gave you a question, let's say 9 plus 8 times 3 minus parentheses 5 times 2. Okay, let's look at that. Now you can see here that we have many operations. So we have a plus, we have a multiply, we have a minus, and then we also have the parentheses, which you say sometimes brackets, and a multiply inside. Now whenever you see a number sentence with more than one operation, you are going to follow what we call the PEMDAS rule. PEMDAS. Okay, what that means is P means you're first going to start with the parentheses. So we always start here. And if you have any other, E stands for exponents, for example, something that looks like that. Multiplication, then comes division, and then addition and subtraction. But be very careful because multiplication and division go together. I'll explain what that means in the example. And addition and subtraction as well, they go together. And I will explain what that means in the example. All right, so let's start. So here we go. We have 9 plus 8 times 3 minus 5 times 2. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start here with the parentheses, and we're going to evaluate that. What is inside? 5 times 2 is 10, and that means we're still going to add the 9 plus 8 times the 3 and now minus the 10. So we've evaluated the bracket. Now we know, so we have completed the parentheses. So we're going to look for, do we have any exponents? And we see no, we don't have any exponents, so we're going to move on. Do we have multiplication or division? And we say yes, we have multiplication, there's no division, so we're going to go ahead and do the multiplication. So we're going to look for where is the multiplication. Only 8 is multiplied by 3, so that's going to evaluate to 24. And then lastly, we're going to do the adding and the subtracting. So now we can see, now we're left with the adding and the subtracting. Okay, we can see we're left with 9 plus 24 and then minus the 10. So add and subtracting, they go together, as you can see in the rule, but it means, it does not mean we always have to add first and subtract. We follow the order of the expression when you come to adding and subtraction. When you see them together, just follow your order of your expression. So in our expression, so we're going to start from here, which is from left to right. And so we're just going to go from left to right. And so 9 plus 24 is 33. And then we're going to minus the 10, and 33 minus 10 is 23. So giving us a final answer of 23. Okay, let's look at a second question. If you had a question like, let's say now you had 78 minus 2 to the power 4 divided by 14 minus 6 times 2. Okay, here you can see now we're going to start off with parentheses, right? But you can, so we're going to start here. 14 minus 6 we know is 8. And then, so we can see that, okay, so we've done with the parentheses. Do we have any exponents? Yes, so we're going to do the exponent next. 2 to the exponent 4, 2 to the power 4. Remember, 2 to the power 4 means 2 times 2, 4 times. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16. So we know this is going to give us 16. And we still got to do the minus and the divide and the multiply by 2. So we're going to just bring them down. So we've done with the exponents. Now we're going to see, do we have multiplication and division? And we can see, yes, we have multiplication and division here. We have both of them. Right? Now, as we said, in multiplication and division, it does not mean we have to do multiplication first. Okay? Like the rules, although it's MD, doesn't mean multiplication must be done always. If you have multiplication and division, you follow the order that is in your expression. So here we can see division is first and then multiplication. So we have to follow that order. So we're going to get 16 divided by 8, we know is 2. And then 2 times 2 gives us 4. So that whole thing evaluates to 4. And now we get ready to do the subtraction. And then 78 minus 4 will give us 74. And that is the final answer for that one. Okay, remember if you had done it the other way around, and now if you did the multiplication first, then you would have said 8 times 2 is 16. And then 16 divided by 16 would have given us 1. It would not have given us 4. So you will end up with the wrong answer. So remember, you follow the order of your expression for multiplication and division and for addition and subtraction. Okay, just one last example now. So we're going to look at, let's say we had 200 minus 4 to the power 3 divided by 2 times 5 plus 17. All right, so now again, we're going to go with parentheses first. So we're going to start here with the parentheses. 4 exponent 3 divided by 2. Now let's look at 4 exponent 3. We know means 4 multiplied by 4 times 4. And 4 times 4 is 16. And 16 times 4 is 64. So this is 64 divided by 2, because we're now going to, so that's 64, and we know we're going to divide that by 2. So the whole thing will be 32. Okay, and we still got to do the 200 and then the multiply by 5 and the plus 17. So let's bring that down. And now we're going to say, okay, we finished parentheses. Do we have any exponents? No, because the exponent was in the parentheses. So now we're going to look at, do we have multiplication and division? Yes, we have only a multiplication. There's no division. So 32 times 5, let's work that out. 32 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10. And 5 times 3 is 15, plus the 1 is 16. So that's going to give us 160. And now we're still going to see 200 minus and plus the 17. So now you can see, now we're left with minus and plus. And like we said, when we have minus and plus, according to the rule here, if you have only addition and subtraction, it does not mean addition first and then subtraction. You follow the order of your expression. So if it starts with subtraction, you're going to have to do subtraction first. So 200 minus 160 we know is 40, and then 40 plus that 17 will give us 57. And that's the final answer. But if you did it the other way around, so if you said it's 160 plus 17 would have given us 177, and 200 minus 177 would have given you like 23 as an answer. So it's not correct. You have to follow the order of your expression. Okay, and that's it. I'll see you in the next video.